guys, professional Stoliz hater here. Since my introduction video is still in the works, I thought it would be a good time to go back to my roots of dunking on Helluva Boss to fill in the time. I also haven't seen anybody talk about this, which is surprising because VivziePop is constantly criticized for her depiction of male SA. But I'm not surprised since the show itself doesn't treat these instances of SA as SA. These scenes in question are two, which happen between Stoliz and Blitz.
Raping versus rapping happens way too commonly.
The instance of SA in question is in the remake of the pilot episode where Stoliz does it with Blitz in the office. This is great because Stoliz coerces Blitz into doing this by repeatedly insisting even though he says no until he caves in. Now that I have explained why this scene is SA, I want to talk about the rest of my grievances with this ship because jeez, is the yaoi slob thick and toxic.
Great. So you wanted us to know that Travis has a big dick. At what cost? Your dignity?
I had an epiphany recently that even when I liked this ship, I never really liked it, but I liked the idea of it. I liked the idea of fuck buddies becoming lovers. I liked the idea of a poor man getting with a rich man, which is an important distinction to make because if you take a look at their love story thus far, you can tell that the writers love the idea of them, not their actual relationship. Since instead of developing it, they just jam in every single romance cliche they can. And the scene that I talked about in the previous section is a perfect encapsulation of it. Since Stoliz has faced so much criticism for his sexual harassment towards Blitz, yet they decided to make a scene of him forcing himself on Blitz, making his established pattern of harassment worse, as a joke because it's hot. Yet we're still expected to root for him to get together with Blitz. This is the same show where Mammon using Fizzaroli's likeness to create various products is played up for laughs, yet he's still portrayed as the bad guys because despite Fizz giving his consent, the power dynamic they have prevents him from saying no if he actually wanted to. But this is VivziePop we're talking about where consistency is non-existent, but her defending her trash writing decisions to randoms is abundant. One of my favorite times is when she argues with a sex trafficking victim. I want to highlight this specific part of that conversation because it really pisses me off. Since Stoliz defenders claim that people like me don't like him because we just don't understand his character, well no I do, and that's why I don't like him. Him being a victim of childhood abuse and marriage doesn't mean that he gets the excuse to treat others like Blitz poorly. I mean, the show understands this with Blitz in question, since despite him also having an abusive childhood, the show doesn't make excuses for him treating others poorly. Quite the opposite actually. They love bringing up the fact that he has treated so many people like shit. So much so they made a whole episode centered around it. I love how this show is supposedly against classism, yet constantly reinforces the classist rhetoric that it's okay for rich people to screw as many people over as they want, but it's completely unacceptable when a poor person does it. This show has been trying to convince us that these two horn magnets are actually in love, yet never give us actual reasons. In season 2 episode 1, they revealed that they're long lost childhood best friends for like a day, and only because Bliss's dad sold them for like $2 in a pop. Yet shortly after they reconnect, they bang. I know there's gonna be people in my comment section talking about how this is an adult show and I'm just a fetus. Well, I am a fetus, and I am well aware that this is an adult show. I also don't have a problem with sex. I'm a porn addict after all. Some of my favorite pornos hastily slap on the fuck buddies to lovers trope also, but at least they have the excuse of being, well, pornos. They're supposed to get your rocks off. Coherent stories are optional. That is not the case with Helluva Boss though, hence why I'm more critical. They could have given more hints to Stoliz before episode 6 and made the fuck buddies to lovers transition a lot smoother instead of suddenly flipping the switch. Especially when you have to make up BS justifications for them to be together. Like Blitz pity fucking Stoliz isn't romantic whatsoever. That's just lust. Their lack of connection is evident in Season 2, Episode 9 when Stoliz describes his ideal partner to Blitz and his name isn't even mentioned once, and later in that episode he makes out with another man. This is never addressed, mind you, so for right now in the show, Stoliz essentially settles for Blitz because he's the only person that he has a positive connection with that's portrayed as a meaningful love interest. If this isn't proof that the writers are just using this couple as a vessel for romance tropes, I don't know what is, because how do you build them up as soulmates, drop this bombshell, and move on as if this doesn't unravel what you're trying to do. You know, I'm starting to feel like this video is steering off track, so let me wrap this up before I drive myself off a cliff talking about this shit.
Homosexuals. Damn homosexuals.
In conclusion, Stoliz is a poorly written relationship because the writers don't have a clear vision for them, so they just cram in a bunch of romance tropes. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. This will be my last Hell of a Boss critique video for a bit because I don't want to be associated with the hate-dom since I like the show despite its flaws, which is why my next Hell of a Boss video will be praising Short 7. I apologize for this video taking so long to come out. I have a tedious way of editing, plus I wanted to put out a video for Valentine's Day, and my mental health has taken a nosedive as of late, so I have been demotivated to do anything productive. But I am getting better, so expect regularly scheduled uploads, especially since I dropped AP Macronomics, so I have a lot of time on my hands until next quarter. We have officially hit 100 subscribers! Thank you for everybody who contributed to making this goal a reality. To celebrate, I will be doing a Q&A, so drop your questions down below. Thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. Love you all. Bye.